The immortal John Hancock here, and today I'm sharing one of my most prized collections with you. I've been a huge TurboGrafx fan since I was a kid when my mother purchased a TurboGrafx-16 console for me with a couple games for Christmas. It was on clearance, it didn't sell well. I am so glad she did. In this video, I'm sharing every piece of TurboGrafx and PC Engine and Super Graphics item that I have, a complete HuCard collection, as well as many other things. Let's check it out. After many requests, here is my TurboGrafx collection US. I've been collecting this a long time, since the mid-90s. Huge TurboGrafx fan. Had a TurboGrafx back in the day, have original console in my collection still, and I can't tell you how awesome this system is. Unfortunately, it's very expensive, but the good news is with the TurboGrafx Mini coming out, that will make it easier for people to legally play this amazing console. I'm going to cover what I have. I have a complete HuCard set, and that means I have at least a HuCard of all the 94 released HuCards, and that, for people that don't know, the HuCards are the credit card style games. They also had 44 releases on CD and Super CD. I'm going to go over this closer. I'm missing two of the CD set, Dynastic Hero and Super Air Zonk. They're both very expensive. That's why I don't have them. And I have a very humble import selection of games. I mostly am a North American collector because I can find them in the States. So here we go. I do have an import Turbo Duo, and a lens does need to be replaced on it. This is the CD add-on for the TurboGrafx. It came in a hard shell case, and right there in the front is the US TurboGrafx-16 system. To play the CD add-on, you had to have a system card 2.0. You then later got a system card 3.0. This allowed it to play the Super CD-ROM games, the Duo games, the Super CD-ROM 2 games. It allowed it to play additional games. So this is the Turbo Duo US. Lens has been replaced. That is a couple extra controllers I have. It is one of my favorite looking game consoles of all time. Absolutely wonderful system to have. Too expensive to own. I baby it just because it's so expensive. This is my TurboGrafx system. Budget release. You know, it did not sell well at all, and they were clearancing these out at Christmas time, even a year after they came out. Above it is a box Turbo Express with the TV tuner, and that is my Turbo Express that I have in a custom-made travel case with AC adapter. I do not have it modded, screen modded, I know about that, and I have an original one in my collection. I do have a Super Graphics, picked this up from Rick Wise several years ago. I have two games, and pretty much Ghouls and Ghosts and Battle Ace. Alright, so I'm going to go over, this are the CD games. We'll start here, and these are the CD games. I'm missing two, Dynastic Hero and Super Air Zonk, both very tough to get. But other than that, these are the CD game releases, many of them very difficult to acquire and expensive. So Cotton, Bonk 3, Camp California, jewel cases that are in some of these. I scored a large lot of TurboGrafx stuff, and some of them were just instruction booklet and game and disc. And so I do have some aftermarket jewel cases for some of my games. And that is just, it was an affordable way to get a large collection of this stuff, which is really tough to get. So Dungeon Explorer 2, Exile, Fighting Street, which is actually the first Street Fighter, Gate of Thunder, Godzilla, really tough one to get. It came from the desert, which is one of the first CD releases in the States. They actually made a Madden football for the Turbo Duo. Last Alert, Loom, Lords of the Rising Sun, another early release. Lords of Thunder, Awesome Shooter, Might and Magic 3. Prince of Persia, Shapeshifter. Sherlock Holmes, 1 and 2. Valis, very, very tough game to get. Sid Meier's Terraforming, very difficult to get. Bastille, now you're probably wondering, why do you have 2 copies of Ease? One was a pack-in with the Turbo Duo, the other one was an early release just for the normal CD. So Ease with Gate of Thunder and Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge was like the 4 games that came with the Turbo Duo as a pack-in. Pretty sweet. So that's the CD games, okay? Then you had 44 of those, and then you had 94. And I almost forgot Keith Courage. I'm doing another video right now with TurboGrafx related, and Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. Actually, this came with an additional game. I think Galaga was the other game it came with. But yeah, they definitely promoted, hey, buy this game, get this game. So I'm going to go over a HuCard game set here. And this is an amazing library. Unfortunately, it's expensive to collect for, but just playing this, you can play this on emulators. There's many ways of playing TurboGrafx games. If you haven't played TurboGrafx games, it is so worth it. Such a great library. Lots of good shooters, and it really was a great hybrid. It's the best way to describe it. It was like a cross between a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo with excellent color, and they had gameplay a lot like the original Nintendo. I have a couple games. I just have HuCard only. Bomberman 93, Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge. Some of the more common games. That was the icon. That was pretty much the mascot for TurboGrafx. Bonk 3, Kadash, Chu-Man Fu. One thing about TurboGrafx, especially in the US, TurboGrafx-16 didn't have great artwork. It would definitely, compared to the Japanese artwork, definitely was lacking. I'm just going through. I have several just jewel case. I have about 30 plus boxes, Dungeon Explorer being one of them. Dungeons and Dragons, Order of the Griffin. Some games such as this didn't come with a jewel case. It came with just a plastic tray. And so you may pick up this game and wonder why it's so light, and that's why. Galaga 90, which was a pack-in with my system, I do believe that's why it has that sticker. Lots of good games here, though. Clax, Legend of Hero Tama. And here are 2 games that don't get enough recognition. Legendary Axe 1 and 2. I have a fond memory of Legendary Axe 2. That's the first game I played on the console. It was a game I got when the system, when I got it, was a little bit later when the system was dying. But Legendary Axe was an amazing platform game. The second one has really nothing to do with the first one, but it's a good game. There it is, Magical Chase. Now, I have the HuCard and the manual. I talk about this in a previous video, but that is legit Magical Chase. Utopia 1 and 2, awesome games. New Adventure Island, Night Creatures, Ninja Spirit, another awesome release. Parasol Stars. Lots of decent shooters too on the system, especially imports. Imports where it's at. Lots of great games to import. But the US did get some decent games, sidearms. Soldier Blade, another great shooter. Wanted to show just how many releases there was in the US. And you know, this came and went pretty fast. The problem was there wasn't a lot of places to get games. For where I lived, it was Toys R Us is pretty much where it was at. Wasn't many places selling TurboGrafx. It was a distant third compared to Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. The sports offerings were at best, and so you know the TV sports series was its kind of sports line. It kind of reminds me of the Great Sports series off the Sega Master System. Not good. World Class Baseball, I did pick this up back in the day. Not bad, just a lot of the sports were kind of generic, and so it was kind of the downfall of the system is it just didn't catch on in the States for whatever reason. I think marketing, you know, it had a couple, you know, 94 releases, that's it. That's just a fraction of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, so it just had a hard time catching on. Alright, so I'm going to show you the imports over here. Very humble collection, and I have some homebrews. And so Street Fighter 2 is amazing on this console. It's a special size Hue card, and it's an excellent version of the game. Double Dragon 2. I have some CD games mixed in here, some imports. There's some terrible games too. Altered Beast Hue card, ugh, terrible. These a couple shooters here, some imports here. All right, so then I'm going to show you some of the homebrews. Mysterious Song, I supported that. Came with an additional DVD. FX Unit Yuki, I just talked about this on Dreamcast, but I did back the TurboGrafx version. Laying in one of the first Hue cards, homebrew Hue cards available for the console. And then Insanity, which is like a Berserk, kind of a CD-ROM. It's CD-ROM Berserk, pretty much. Implode. There was a multi-disc with a bunch of different games on it. This is an aftermarket release of Magical Chase on Hue card. And then these, and it's important to talk about these. So, if you ever see Memories or this is a reproduction. Now, I got this because I wanted to play it. As long as you know what you're getting. These are amazing. You find them on eBay, you find them, but they are aftermarket. They're the reproductions. And so I got this just to play Dracula X, because I don't have Dracula X. I want to play Dracula X. So this is why I have this in my collection. There's a sealed copy of it, but then the extra disc just to play. These are getting kind of harder to find. You find them, and you know they're sold online, and you know people have opinion. The issues I have with some of the other versions of these is they look a lot like the original. So you know I'm fine with reproductions as long as they are marked accordingly that they're reproductions. So that's that. That is my entire TurboGrafx collection. US celebrating 30 years. You know, it came out, you know, about 30 years ago. I can't believe that. I can't believe the TurboGrafx turning 30, and just an amazing console. And I'm really happy to have pursued a complete Hue card set. Now I'm missing a lot of the boxes, but you know, I picked a lot of this stuff up along the way, and I'm happy to just continue collecting for it. I hope this video helps fellow collectors out, know kind of what was released. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Since the TurboGrafx Mini is coming out, I thought I'd share my collection. What is your favorite game? Comment below. I'd love to hear back. Do you have memories of the TurboGrafx? Such an amazing console. Didn't do too well in the States, but you know, it's getting its own mini console, and therefore many others are going to be able to experience some amazing games. And I want to thank everybody for continuing to tune in as I march towards 90,000 subs. I had a lot of fun with this video, I hope you enjoyed it. This is Immortal John Hancock. You take care.